Om Shanti. Very good morning and a very warm welcome to today's Avyakt Murli session. Today we are going to read Murli dated on 08 February 1975. The title of the Murli is A Stable Stage While Seated on the Seat of Faith. So in this Murli, Baba is narrating the stable stage on the seat of the faith. Now, four aspects Baba is covering in this. In these four aspects, when we become that, we become victorious in our practical life. And what are the signs of such souls? That also Baba explaining in this movie. And Baba asked us to check the percentage that we are currently on in those four aspects. Okay, and what faith means, all that Baba is very nicely explained. So without much delay, let's get started. Do all of you experience yourself to be seated on the seat of faith? Baba is asking, do all of you experience yourself to be seated on the seat of faith? The seat of faith doesn't sometimes shake, does it? Is your seat of faith so unshakable and immovable that no matter how much any type of situation, elements, or person tries to shake that seat, it cannot be shaken? Those who are constantly stable on the seat of faith are remembered as the victorious ones who have faith in the intellect. Those who are constantly stable on the seat of faith are remembered as the victorious ones who have faith in the intellect. The sign of remaining unshakable is to be constantly victorious in your every thought, every word, and every deed. Do you experience yourself to be such victorious jewels? You are not going to be shaken by any situation, are you? Those effort makers who think that there can be upheaval created by a situation or who have such type of thought, raise your hands. Is there anyone here who feels that, yes, this can happen? If you don't raise your hand, just if you don't raise your hand now, just be careful because a difficult paper is still to come. So what will you do then? If all of you are to pass in the paper, no matter how difficult it is, then should the date of the paper be announced? Are all of you ready for that? You will not say at the time that you hadn't understood this aspect, or that you hadn't thought about it, or that this is something completely new, will you? The test of faith is that whatever you consider to be possible will come to you as an impossible test paper. Will you be able to remain unshakable at that time? There are four main aspects to become one who has faith in the intellect, and you need to have the full percentage in all four. You know these four things and you even follow them. So the first one is faith in the Father, who is and whatever he is, to know and accept him in whatever form he is playing his part. Second aspect is to know clearly and to accept the knowledge received from the Father through experiencing it. And the third aspect is whatever you are, however you are, that is to know, to accept, and to conduct yourself according to the importance of your elevated life, of the spiritual birth, of your elevated Brahmin life, of your elevated part, of your elevated stage and place. And the fourth one is to know the present, most elevated, auspicious, beneficial time of the stage of ascent, and to take every step accordingly. To have full faith in all these four aspects in your practical life is known as being victorious by having faith in the intellect. You also need to check the percentage in each aspect. Don't just become happy that you have faith, but also check if you have a high percentage. If the percentage is less in even one aspect, then the seat of faith can shake at any time due to any minor situation. Therefore, check your percentage because the time is now coming close for becoming perfect. So even a little weakness can cause great loss at that time. For the purer and more sadhu-pradhan you become, whatever you consider today to be a little weakness or experience as an ordinary strain would be very clearly visible on a very pure and clean stage. Therefore, now have subtle checking accordingly and make intense effort to overcome your weaknesses. Day by day, the more elevated you become, the more well known you become in the eye of all the souls of the world. Everyone's vision is increasingly falling on you. Everyone is now waiting for the time when souls who are instruments for establishment will accomplish their task of establishing a new world of peace and happiness. So that on the basis of this establishment, this sorrowful world can be transformed. Their vision is on those who are carrying out establishment. But where is the vision of those who are carrying out establishment? Are you engrossed in your own task, or is your vision on those who are to become about destruction? Are you engrossed in your own task, or is your vision on those who are to bring about destruction? You are not moving along on the basis of hearing the news of the instruments for destruction, are you? Do you also become slack when they become slack? Is destruction to take place on the basis of establishment, or is establishment is to take on the basis of destruction? Those who are carrying out establishment have become instruments to intensify the flame of destruction. It is not that those who are to bring about destruction are instruments to intensify the efforts of those who are carrying out establishment. Those who carry out establishment are images of support. Those who are such images of support are not shaken on hearing about destruction, are they? Those who are, right, those who are such images of support are not shaken on hearing about destruction. Hmm, are you? They are not fluctuating, are they? Will it happen or not? Will it happen or not? What will people say? What will people do? These base thoughts are not making the seat of your faith shake, are they? All of you raise your hand for having faith in the intellect. Did you not? Faith means not just have any question of why, what, or how. Faith means not to have any question of why, what, or how, even in your thoughts. Because the royal form of doubt is in the form of thoughts. You sometimes say that you don't have any doubts, but that you have thought, but you have that thought. So, whose creation did that thought arise from? Since you are those who have full faith in all four aspects, can you have any such thought arising? Since this is the benevolent age and you are the souls who follow the elevated directions of the benevolent Father, you cannot have any thoughts other than those of benevolence and the stage of ascent. Every thought of such souls for the particular task is powerful at every moment. It is not a wasteful thought. You are not afraid, are you? Thinking of what you will have to face. To take a paper means to move forward, that is, to come very close to perfection. This paper is now about to come. If you have a clear intellect, if you have a clear intellect, you will be able to make others clear also. This does not mean that you should think that it is not going to happen. Whatever happens in the drama from time to time is like pulling a hair out of butter, is it not? Has anything been difficult? Bapdada has seated you in his eyes and on his heart throne and is taking you across, is he not? Will anyone else fulfill the promise and the task of being with you till the end and of taking you across any situation? The Father has to take you with the Father has to take you with you. With him, sorry. The Father has to take you with him. What would you say if the Almighty Authority is your companion and yet you have such thoughts arising? Finish such wasteful thoughts and remain engrossed in the task of which you are instruments and Baptada's helpers. Intensify the fire of your deep love, and through this fire of love, the fire of destruction will also become intense. First of all, sacrifice all your weaknesses and and shortcomings in the sacrificial fire of the imperishable knowledge for which you Brahmins have to become instruments. Only then, when the sacrifice of the entire old world has been made, will completion take place. Now, strike the matchstick of determined thought, for only then will this task be accomplished. Acha. To those who remain engrossed in this fire of love, to those who accomplish their task while seated on the seat of faith, to those who remain unshakable and immovable in every situation, to the cooperative souls who are always close to Bapdada, to such loving souls, Bapdada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Okay, now let's take a pause, reflect on these points, whichever touched your heart, you can share. Let's take a minute of pause here, and then you can unmute and share. Om Shanti. So you're free to share your whichever points you want to share. Anyone would like to share? Baba said, children, your seat of faith should be unshakable and immovable, no matter what sort of situation comes. Towards the end, all the situation is going to be really shaking. Situation will shake you. Elements will shake you. Persons try to shake you, and everything. But you need to have a constantly stable stage, and you have to be seated in that. Only then you will be victorious. So there's going to be a lot of test paper coming in to check how stable we are in our faith. And Baba covered, 4 aspects. Yep. Anyone would like to share?
Om Shanti, brother.
Yep. Om Shanti. Sister. Yeah,
just trying to, the Murli was, something on a foundation. So we were all, at least I was just trying to gather
Right.
All this kind of foundation which Baba has pumped in the Murli today, saying that what is unshakable. Only when there is unshakable will there will be stability. That is logic, I think. If something shakes, then how can it be stable? And what does Baba is talking here, unshakable, which is what we always lose. That is faith. Like Baba, just one sentence which he started, he gave us as a foundation. He's saying the test of faith is whatever comes to you to be possible, that is whatever I think, oh, it's possible, it will come to you as impossible. You will face it thinking, oh, it's possible. But actually the test paper is when it becomes impossible. I think I like that first paragraph which Baba concluded over here. So when you thought it possible, but it becomes suddenly impossible, do you shake? Are you stable? I think that was the first question Baba asked us about the impossibilities and things, because with possibility, you just need strength. But with impossibility, you need faith. That was the first paragraph which Baba ended in. That last line of the paragraph is what we need to check. Like when I enter into something as, oh, ho jayega, suddenly everything works against me. What do I do? So to whom do I go and hold myself? I think that was the first point I got into Murli.
Right. Right. We think, we have faith, and when situation comes, when we find it difficult, and that's also is not, that's also a taking stage, right? So their test paper will come, and we can definitely check our stage whether I'm stable or not. And not just one, not just one thing that will come. All 4, 5 elements will take will take the test paper, and also situation. All that's going to get worse day by day. And only when we remain seated in our stable stage, and that is of seat of faith, that's when we'll be able to become victorious.
But can't we also take it like this, brother? Maybe my consideration that it was possible was a wrong calculation. See, Baba is not telling you that you have to be victorious. That line, if you see, maybe I thought it was possible, was my wrong calculation. I went against the laws, against nature, against this, and I said, no, hoga, we call that as jid. See, jid is something very thing not to accept. So maybe I should also, so that is why Baba comes down to what? Faith in the intellect. Maybe my intellect was not clear. What was not possible itself, I considered it to be possible. Then test paper will naturally come. So even that, I need a clear intellect to analyze, the Trikal Darshi. I should have to say, is my calculation ye hoga? Correct. So that when I was just thinking is also one aspect where Baba is mentioning. We think, I can do it, I can do it. No one else can do it. So for that, Baba has joined it with a different kind of faith in the intellect. For me, when Baba speaks of faith, it's only faith in self, faith in Baba, faith in Brahma, faith in family. I think that is what we have learned in all Murlis. But here, Baba, I think, why he gave that line? It is for that. Because we always say, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. So my consideration of possibility was wrong.
Yeah, but here we also need a clear intellect, a constantly connected intellect with Baba. Only then we would be able to understand all the situation coming across. That is also an important thing, I guess. I heard this story, not story, in the Yakya, one situation where Dadi, Dadis have this kind of a touching from Baba when something bad is going to happen on their way. So this was one situation. One day, Prakash Mani Dadi supposed to go to Delhi, it seems, and then Dadi's luggages, everything was loaded into vehicle car, and all the Brahmin family members, Pandaban came out to give a send off to Dadi that day, and Dadi have this habit of going to Baba's room before going out for any seva, and then Dadi goes to Baba's room and then sit there for some time, and then Dadi comes out and say that I am not going to Delhi. Um, and just and then everybody is surprised why Dadi, when they ask, and then Dadi says, Baba did not give me permission. Baba showed the red flag. Baba said not to go, and they said that all the programs, everything is scheduled there. If you don't go, everything will collapse. So much of money is invested. All that they said, and then still Dadi said, Baba said not to go, so I will not go. There is no second thought. And then that day, that flight had on the way. That flight, the flight from Ahmedabad to Delhi, the flight had some challenge reaching on the way. So what was that? The weather condition was very bad, and the flight could not reach Delhi. And on the way, it landed somewhere else, it seems. And the pilot was not able to control the uh, uh, air, and he was not able to communicate with the other airport guys in control room and so and so. And finally, after so many hours, he could land the flight in some other airport, it seems. And all the time is gone, and also they couldn't reach there. I mean, the flight didn't reach Delhi. So there, if you think of it, so Dadi, because of Dadi's clear intellect, Baba gave the touching and child not to go, and then Dadi didn't go. Because Baba shows that this sort of a situation is going to come. So Baba gave the signal, and because of that, is clear intellect, Dadi was able to catch that message from Baba. So similarly, these sort of a situation, if anything bad is going to come on our way, there's going to be a signal. But to catch that signal, we need that clear intellect and complete faith, and we should be seated in the faith of that stage. That's the stage of constant faith. So this is one just example. I just I got to know about this faith. Yeah.
Yes, brother. Even I have come across here. I have heard it more with Jagdish Bhai. Because so many instances, what is that the kind of thing? Before any service, their first thing is they go to Baba's room, kind of as if they take a signal from him. There were so many instances. Like I remember in one instance, the center stopped and told Dadi not to come because it was raining. But Dadi said, no, Baba told me to go ahead. Nothing will happen. I shall come. And center people didn't know what to do because it was just not possible. everything was against that. They could not even have it. That was instance. But when the Adi went all, there was no rain, there was nothing. So what I feel is these people that faith in the Father, so that touching power is what you need to really get it. So that you'll only get when you don't think about मैं सोच रहा हूँ, ये हो रहा है. Metallurgic department told this, the center told this. If I shift away from that, and what is Baba telling? Oh my God, I need a direct connection with that. That's what I think faith in Father is.
Right, right. So, Baba is there to support us. He will be giving us signal, but it's based on our capacity, how well we should be able to catch that signal. Anyone else would like to share?
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Good.
It's very easy sometimes to say that, yes, we have to be strong during the papers. But yes, when we keep Baba with us, everything gets it to its right place at the right time. But the most important quality which we need to have is to have patience. My parents used to say me that today's people do not have patience to handle the sorrow which they get. दुख झेलने की आदत नहीं रही आजकल के मनुष्य में ऐसा. This is the sentence which inspired me a lot, that yes, we do not have that Sayyam or Niyam that which Baba says. So that usually we do not want to shake, but because of our habits, we shake usually because of body consciousness. We unintentionally enter into waste thoughts, cycle of waste thoughts, and so we do not want to get into problems, but we unknowingly keep on increasing our problems. So it's very important to be very, very firm, as Baba today said, that it's all about the faith. So it's my experience is that along with being strong, you have to use your intellect, and the most important part is you need to have a strong command on Murlis, because whatever are the answers we want, we always get through them only. So yes, if unless and until we do not have the gyan, we cannot move further. So one is Murli and another is blessings. So these two things I think can help us. Om Shanti.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. Faith means where there should not be any question of why, what, and how. And anything that Baba says, there should not be anything like any sort of a question coming of if why or what and how comes, then that becomes, a doubtful intellect.
Om Shanti. Wonderful Murli on faith, and it's often said faith can move mountains. And in Hindi, there is this thing कि पंगु चढ़ही गिरिवर गहन मुख होए वाचाल. Faith can achieve the impossible to be possible. So that's why Baba is emphasizing on faith, and faith with the faith, the percentage of the faith is also which matters. And Baba is focused on the subtle checking of, because the weaknesses, they hinder the faith. If there is any weakness inside, then that weakness will bring the percentage of the faith. And the percentage of faith, if it is there, then the stage, even an ordinary stain, will be clearly visible on a very pure and a clean stage. As the altitude increases, the elevation increases, at a very elevated stage, even an ordinary stain will appear to be very big. So, and everyone's focus or the vision will be falling on the transformer souls, so world transformer souls. So therefore, it's a very big responsibility Baba has highlighted on each one of us, is that we need to work on the even the minor, the small weaknesses also, which we think today they're very small, but on the long term, on the future, it will be a very big weakness. So that point has really touched me, and I think we have the Baba is bringing us, expecting us to be perfect souls, which do not have even a minor strain. So the subtle checking is a very important part. Om Shanti.
Right, right. Thank you, Bajila.
Brother, I just wanted to ask you something. See, Baba's is given a relationship between this faith and doubt. And I remember once Dadi Janki had said, you should have unwavering faith. This unwavering faith, why do we are not able to face this? We don't find goodness in everything. Jo bhi hoga, acha hi hoga. We say, only if this happens, that happens, then okay. There's victory. But if you feel a goodness in everything, every event, every circumstance, and you're carefree, then the question of it didn't work doesn't come. So that Dadi had called it as unwavering faith. Then doubt, she said, it comes because your love is breaking up. So when you have unbreakable love, like intense love, itna pyar, that thing or that person on whom you have love cannot just leave you. So that's why they say the boatmen and both must be strong. So the other day in the Murli, Baba spoke about Praneshwar. I coined a new word, Tufaneshwar. In Tufan mein, Baba, you're giving Tofa. So I gave Baba a new title. Baba, you are Tufaneshwar. So if any storm comes in my life, please come down and become an Ishwar and just help me to face the storm. I'm not telling you to pick me up from the storm and put me in a safe place. No. I can face it, but just be by my side and be a Tufaneshwar.
Right. And there will be test paper. I mean, Baba will definitely take test paper just to check the percentage of our faith in Baba. Even you all know this, right? The Draupadi story, when the Dushasana tried to strip her, and then Draupadi kept on holding with one hand and then started calling Krishna. And then, the sari was coming till on top of her head, but it was not covering her. And then when she, used her both hands holding the one hand she was holding on sari, and the other hand she kept on, using the other hand she was calling Krishna. And when she left both hands and then gave complete surrenderance to God and called Krishna, right? That's when the sari came and started covering her, right? So there it shows one side, Draupadi still had that somewhere back in her mind, she had that confidence of that, okay, to some extent I can protect using my one hand. But when she realized that it's not working, and then that's when she gave complete surrenderance, and that's when all works. So here also, Baba will take test paper to see the level of the percentage of our faith that we have in Baba. And when we completely surrender, not mixing anything from our side, I think that's when we get the full support from Baba.
Sorry,
Anyone
brother,
else
I'm
would like
asking
to?
you one more question.
Yeah.
Can you clarify this paragraph on destruction and establishment? because some statements sounded a little paradoxical for me. Like Baba, if you see in one paragraph, he's saying, is your vision on destruction? Because outside people are not looking for destruction, they're looking for establishment. So is distraction on establishment or establishment on destruction? That one paragraph, if suppose we could get some churning on it.
Yeah, so I think my understanding, what I understood is one side, the destruction people are those who are instrument for destruction, right? They are intensifying their effort in terms of creating all the bombs and so on, I guess. And the other side, those who are instruments, right, to for the establishment, people, I mean, Baba's children, they have to intensify their tapasya. Only then, this both, only then the destruction can take place, right? So I think one side, Baba says these two, they are looks like Baba is comparing these two. One side, the establishment, and the other side, the destruction. Both sides, they are intensifying their effort for destruction. But I think some other Murli Baba says this the destruction is already ready. I mean, all the bombs, everything is ready. Only the children needs to get ready for they have to intensify their tapasya and be ready. When the children are ready, then the destruction will take place. Right? If anybody has any other thoughts, feel free to share.
Om Shanti. I think, yes, and just adding one reflection here, Baba is expecting us to focus on our own stage rather than, getting distracted or getting dependent on hearing the news of destruction. Instead, the soul needs to focus on the establishment of own elevated stage. In my view, it's added reflection on that. And second is Baba has also spoken about these thoughts, like waste thoughts, like will it happen or not, or what will people say, what will people do, while creating the elevated stage in deep inside. So that sometimes it gets distracted and the soul loses the focus. We should not bother about this. Will it happen or not? What will people say if I focus on my elevated stage? I'm not doing as per what people expect, or generally the people are doing like this, so I should also get influenced. No, Baba says focus on your stage, and what I am saying, you do that. What will people say, what will people do should not deter you from your aim and object. So these waste thoughts should not make your seat shakeable or your faith shake. That's a very important point. And in this are included why, what, and how, and all that. We should just fly. We should fly to our subtle world or the incorporeal world and just absorb that supreme energy and maintain our elevated stage. Whether surrounding is full of chaos, but deep inside, I'm very clean and clear. Om Shanti.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we can also think in this way, like, one side, the souls, who become instruments for destruction. One side, the destruction, the other side, the establishment. So it's based on when we get our perfect stage, right? Whether the souls the souls will become instrument to carry out the destruction. That's there. But after all, it is us who will have to become perfect, right? Only then the destruction can take place, and also
Yes.
the establishment
Yes.
can take place. So
Because
in a
destruction,
way,
the
yeah,
souls who are, sorry, I am just interrupting. The souls who are instrument for instruction, by the way, they will definitely be instruments. And
right,
if you see practical day-to-day life, when you suppose I go to office, there will in between also you will find your environment destructive. You will find your And the destruction, Baba focuses on the stage. The stage is getting influenced by the environment. Then that means my focus is on the destruction. I'm getting influenced by the destruction. That Baba says, no, you should not get influenced or affected by the scenes of destruction. You should rather, my focus should be on establishment of my elevated state, and destruction will anyway will happen.
Will happen.
It will happen because law of entropy generation. The degree of randomness is going to increase day by day when this Kali Yuga is coming. I mean, that is coming to the end, and when the Satyuga is starting. Before Satyuga starts, I mean, the end of the Kali Yuga, you will have the highest degree of randomness, highest chaos. That is highest degree of destruction. But whether I have made my intense efforts to create the elevated stage or not, that is what is important during this conference age, with the help of Baba, the supreme energy. Om Shanti.
Thank you, brother. Anyone else? Those who have not shared, anybody, those who have not shared would like to share? Okay. So then we'll move on to meditation.
Yes, brother.
Well, I'll just summarize today's meeting. So in the first paragraph, Baba said, children, you seat of the faith. Your seat of the faith should be unshakable and immortal. And that is the elements and situation, person, they all try to shake you. It should not, but it should not shake. Your faith should not shake. And they become the victorious one. They will be called victorious one. And that is the state will come that you remain the unshakable. And then Baba goes on saying that the four aspects to become faith, and also check the percentage of where you are. So the four aspects, Baba says, faith in the Father, and just know what knowledge and accept everything. And then Baba says experience the knowledge. Knowing is different and experiencing is different. And accept who you are, whatever you are, and your divine birth and your Brahmin life and your path, already accept. And then Baba goes on saying, the fourth one, to know the percentage. Sorry, to know the
Shanti Bajit Bhai, your voice is quite low.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, and then the fourth one, Baba says to know the present, right? The importance of the time, the auspicious time, the auspicious conference age, and taking the benefit of it. Only when we understand the importance of the time, only then we'll pay attention to it and take the benefit, right? And then these four should be shown in our practical life. These four faiths should be shown in our four aspects should be shown in our practical life, Baba says. And then Baba says, if the percentage, right, of the seat of faith can shake, if the percentage is less, then it can shake. So check what percentage. And then Baba says, time is now coming close for becoming perfect. So Baba said this in 75. And now, it's 2023, almost 48, right? 48 years. And Baba said at that time that time is coming close for becoming perfect. So we need to intensify, or we need to check how close we are becoming perfect. So do subtle checking, Baba says, and make intense effort to overcome all weaknesses that you have. So first thing would be do subtle checking. When you do subtle checking, only then you would get to know what weaknesses you are going through, and then you can apply the right remedy therein. fix it. I mean, you can come out of the weaknesses. And then Baba says everyone is waiting for the instruments also. What do the task of establishing the new world of peace and happiness, and their vision, right? Their vision is on us. So one side there are souls who will become instruments for destruction. Other sides also will become instrument for establishment. Who needs to intensify the effort? We need to intensify the effort actually here. And then Baba says about establishment, right? That souls who are images support. So the don't shake hearing about destruction, right? So we are that souls who will be instrument soul or the images of support for the establishment. Okay, so don't shake hearing about destruction. That's what Baba says, and don't fluctuate your stage. Be a stable, stable stage. Consistently maintain a stable stage. And then Baba says, faith means no question of why, what, or how in your thoughts. So there should not be even a slightest trace of any question in your thoughts. Coming why, what, and how. Why this? Why me? Why this situation? Why I am facing this problem, and so on. That should not come. It's all doubtful intellect. And then Baba says, Baba has seated you in his eyes and on his heart throne. And it's taking you, and he's taking you across. That's a beautiful line. Baba says, you've been seated on Baba's eyes and heart throne, and he's taking you across. You're on that journey. You're not in the Kali Yuga world, you are in Baba's heart throne. And he's taking you across to the golden age to enjoy that journey with him. And then Baba says, Almighty Authority is your companion. So don't give a room for waste or weak thoughts. Finish all weaknesses and sacrifice yourself to Father. And then finally, Baba says, intensify the fire of love and with the determined thought. So that's what is important. Determined thought and the intensifying the love for God. So with that, let's move on to meditation. So let's stabilize ourselves in our seat. Take a moment to stabilize in the seat of faith. One who has completed the faith in the intellect, right? Father, faith in the Father, complete faith. I am child of God who has complete faith in my intellect, in the Father, knowledge, and whatever I am, however I am, I belong to Baba. Accepting myself and this life, elevated Brahmin life, birth, my part stage. I have no question of why, what, and how. I always remain unshakable, immovable in every situation that come across. And I become a cooperative soul, a loving soul, and I will always remain close to Bap Dada. Create that beautiful thought, that beautiful vision. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Bijit Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family, and see you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, have a wonderful day. Om Shanti.